Where do I begin on this YouTube? As you know, I'm a big fan of history. Like the History Channel, watch the History Channel. Was a devoted fan ever since, it turned up in the 1990s. Always liked the History Channel, but still going to any of my friends or my grandparents' house, since they had cable and enjoyed the History Channel because they had great shows. A lot of good documentary series like Decoding the Past, Modern Marvels, and some of those specialty series like Russia, Land of the Zones, and a lot of other one. What Engineering and Empire was one of them. Now later on they got into shows like Vikings that I've actually loved and liked, and I actually have an update now on all the DVD series now. All the DVDs that came out on the show on the History Channel. But ever since somewhere in life, the History Channel hit a bit of a snag, a little bit of an issue back in the year 2009. I didn't see it much of an issue. But then they got lost. The infamous moment was what I like to refer to as the Nazi Gospel moment. The year of 2013, in April. I was at my grandparents watching this documentary about the ideology of the Nazis and the SS. I thought, okay, good. Oh, look, nice branching out on the History Channel to do that. Boy, was I wrong to see what would lie ahead of me later on in the future. It was a sign of the times, like the book of Revelation in the Bible. Should have seen it come. Because then, in the year of, what was it, 2015 or 2016, History Channel announced there was a new series called Hunting Hitler. I knew about the conspiracy theory. I knew it was a load of crock anyway, and I wasn't expecting, okay, a season. Oh, let's just see how good this, maybe they'll portray the conspiracy theory maybe a bit better than it usually gets portrayed. Maybe some actual factual stuff. Prove that this thing's wrong. Well, just like every German who voted for Hitler in the Third Reich, well, boy was I wrong. I'm about to give you the 10 reasons why. Why I hate the History Channel's 4 seasons. They make one, I noticed. They made 4 seasons of this TV series called Hunting Hitler. 10 reasons why I just don't like this thing. I'm gonna bring you all through it. A lot of people like to put praise on here on YouTube and upload episodes of this thing. It's not the best history. Throwing up bugs and crap out of every history buff out there here on the platform. Uh, Boy, all cries and complaints are voiced in the wind. Not even giving a care about that. So for starters, here is number 1. It has no connection to actual historical facts and events in the history book in Hitler's life in World War II also. They actually portray this thing like he actually escaped, and they just didn't find a body, so that means he escaped, I guess. That's basically the logic of this TV series. And they go through all this advanced, technological stuff to prove their idea, which is, it's so simple to prove them wrong by a sheet of paper that Hitler wrote that was his personal will and testimony. Even they gotta find issues with that. I mean, it's Hitler's personal will and testimony. The guy wanted to kill himself with his wife and be cremated. I don't think you can argue with even Adolf Hitler if you're gonna make a show about hunting Hitler. So it could have been done in probably 38 seconds, probably. They'd have 4 seasons of it. Just to be continuously looking for Hitler's body. No matter how much the history books just did not like this thing. And proved them wrong. Probably killed enough for their devoted followers about the being history buffs and devoted fans of history, and probably people like me that are just innocent aspies. I wanting to enjoy a nice, factual, everyday old, traditional Hitler documentary about how he's an evil guy and stuff. Not something like this. This is horrible. Pain. Something you just wouldn't want to watch at the year of 2020. Let's just say that. Well, let's continue to part 2 of the reason why I just hate this thing. It's a dumb conspiracy theory. I probably mentioned that in part 1 of the reasons why I hate this thing, in reason 1. And yeah, this thing never seems to die. Actually, the conspiracy theory was created by Joseph Stalin's paranoia about Hitler. Even after all the Soviet Union investigators proved that Hitler killed himself. And yet you have witnesses so many times in life saying, oh, they saw him, oh, they noticed him. Okay. Great, I guess you want your 5 seconds of fame and limelight. Great, congratulations. Nothing new in the days of the internet. But it's surprising how people, even to this day, will believe he escaped and is probably alive. There's been actually conspiracy theories that he lived in San Diego. Which was insane for someone like me living in San Diego for most of my childhood. Maybe he was there. Maybe he moved because he found out what my obsessions were about. You've been through some insane paths, I know. But congratulations. Yeah, trouble being a celebrity, I guess. Now here's reason 3, which is it's an easy cash grab. This isn't made for historians or history buffs or history professors, history lovers that love actual history. It's just a cheap way to milk old Bessie and keep the big old mass of people that, they want to keep because, they somehow had to betray us, like, Brutus and Cassius did to Julius Caesar. But Hitler thought of honest Rome or homegoing towards the end of his days. Let's keep that with the theme here. Of the actual people that actually like the History Channel, and they're actually showing history documentaries. This was made because, they wanted to keep that bigger audience of people that are not into history, but just want something entertaining and fun because the reality TV series or whatever. I think that's a wrong thing to do if you're the History Channel, because history is not meant to make money. That's something that the Nazis and Hitler would actually do. They were big into keeping the masses happy, giving them what they wanted, so that they could get what they want out of them. They didn't give a damn about the Jewish people. Looks almost the same way as the History Channel. They didn't give a darn about, the history community. Give more care about unintelligent imbeciles that like a good conspiracy theory. I bet a lot of those guys are just QAnon idiots. I bet they are. All those QAnon tinfoil hat idiots though anyway. So yeah, then those so yeah, they like, the little bigger group of conspiracy theorists than the actual people that love them. Which It's amazing because, I grew up in a generation that would refer to the History Channel based off of all the documentaries about Hitler and the Nazis as the nickname of the Hitler Channel. Nowadays, I guess the name should be the I don't know what's your channel, but you're not history, so you're not the History Channel, but what the heck are you? That's a long nickname, but okay. Okay. I think part 4 of is pretty much was summed up in part 3, which is why does the History Channel do this when it has no real actual valid history, actual history buffs, and lovers actually want? A documentary probably about Hitler killing himself. Because that's actual factual history. Not this. This is made for people that don't know squat about history, but when it seems smart, you know who you are. You look at Wikipedia all day instead of an actual history book or textbook. You believe this Adolf Hitler was alive, and even though just the books say no. Okay, number 4. It's more of an appeasement to not history buffs. They all just serve that bigger, massive audience than the actual History Channel was made originally for, as a themed channel for history lovers and history buffs. Which, yeah, I mean, and in a way, time went on and people started treating education documentaries and, I guess, history in this case, as like a 4-letter word or crossword or whatever. Congratulations, that's nothing new on YouTube. Yeah. It's been probably happening on YouTube before the History Channel did this stuff back in 2009. Well, when they started doing it. That was the Ice Road Truckers, Mountain Men. But, I mean, that's okay if you want to do that, but don't do that on the History Channel with Pawn Stars or whatever, counting pawns.